everyone. Today I want to talk to you about one of my favorite subjects and certainly one of the topics that I get asked about the most, and that is how to do your own DIY PR campaign. So, quick disclaimer, I'm a publicist. I absolutely think you should have a publicist at some point to grow your career. However, I also think there is incredible value in being able to do your own PR. Not only is it going to help you with a lot of things that we're going to talk about today, from how to build relationships to just how to prepare a pitch, but it's also going to help you when you do hire a publicist because you'll better know what to look for and what to expect throughout the campaign. So, without any more delay, let's get into it. How to do your own DIY PR campaign. So tip number one is build your relationships. I am sure you have heard this a million times, but it's for good reason. This one is super important. If you take nothing else away from this entire video, please remember that building your relationships is absolutely the most important thing you can do for yourself and for your career. So, how do you do that? I could do a whole video series on this, and I am sure that I will at some point because I actually love this topic. It's one of my favorite things. But, couple quick tips. First, when I say build your relationships, I mean build your relationships. So that means when you connect with someone, you're not just talking to them once and then putting them on the shelf until you feel like they can serve you later. It means you're checking in with them, you're talking to them about the things that they like, you're making sure to compliment their work, throughout the weeks and months and years. Like, you are keeping in touch with them. And this can be through email or Facebook or Instagram, like whatever platform you're both on and both use. You would be surprised, like just a little comment here and there goes a long way. Another of my favorites for building relationships online is actually Facebook groups. And there are a couple really amazing ones out there, which I will mention below, but getting in there and connecting with people and commenting and giving advice and sharing your knowledge, that is such a good way to build a relationship. And the final tip I will give around this is that the one thing you need to know about building relationships is that it should always be more about them than you. Like, you should always be giving more than you're taking, and you want to be able to make sure they're having a memorable, lasting impression of you, and that comes from them feeling heard and listened to and cared for. So really keep that in mind as you go. Tip number two, give yourself enough time. Now, when I bring on an artist for an album release campaign, we start 8 weeks ahead of release date, and that's so that we have plenty of time to secure a couple single premieres, but also so we can get the music to the blogs before it's released. Because believe it or not, once music is released, it's very difficult to gain traction for it as far as reviews go. So you really need that lead time. Now, if you're working your own campaign, you might need a little bit more time than that, depending on how strong your relationships are, how many premieres you're looking to set up. It really depends, but you just want to make sure that you are giving yourself enough lead time. The third tip is to create your media list. Now, when you're going to be pitching blogs, you kind of need to know who you're going to be pitching, right? So this is pretty important. Now, I would just suggest Google Docs, something like that, and just having a couple columns for, blog name, the writer, their email, things like that. And when you're putting together a list, you want to make sure that one, you always get a specific writer's email when you can. So you will always have more success reaching out to Maria@blogname.com than info@blogname.com. So it's worth the extra digging. And the second thing you want to make sure of is that you're picking blogs that actually make sense for your band. What I mean by that is that they not only focus on your genre, but they also focus on bands of your size. So while you might be destined for Pitchfork and Billboard, if you're a brand new band, they might be out of your reach right now. And that's okay. There's a lot to be done with small blogs and medium blogs. So just make sure you're filling up that media list with blogs that make sense for where you are right now. Now, tip number 4 is to prepare your pitch. And this is a pretty hefty one, but in a nutshell, what you want to do with this is, one, you want to make sure it's simple to the point. So you want to include your band name, where you're from, what you're looking for, like is it an interview or review, etc., and what you're releasing. So is it an album, a single, things like that. And then just include, links to your EPK and your music. You actually wouldn't believe how many pitches I've received that don't have links to the music, so don't forget that. But the number one thing you want to remember when you're preparing your pitch is you need to personalize it. You cannot just send a generic email to someone and expect to get a response out of it. You are asking them to invest in you, to take their time out of their day, to listen to you, to write about you, all while not getting paid, by the way. And so the very least you can do is invest in them. So, check out one of their blog posts, comment on how you really liked their interview with, your favorite band and what you liked about it. Take the time to get to know them and include that a little bit in your email, and you would be amazed at how far that will go. And not to mention, it feeds right back into the first point of building your relationships, right? So the fifth and final tip is a simple one, but you wouldn't believe how many artists miss this. It is to say thank you. You guys, when somebody responds to you, even if it's to say no thanks, say thank you. Thank you for responding. They didn't have to do that. And if somebody responds and says, yes, would love to feature you, thank them. Get them everything they need right away. And then when the piece goes live, make sure you are sharing it all over your socials and tagging them on social media. It's such a simple thing, but believe me, it really matters and it goes a long way. You've got to help each other out, right? Like, that's how we grow together. So I hope that has given you guys some insight on how to run your own DIY PR campaign. Check back next week. I'll be uploading new videos every week. And if you have something that you're dying to know about the industry, whether it's the music industry or more on the entrepreneurial side, mindset, whatever it is, comment below. Let me know what you'd like to learn more about, or find me on Instagram at Angela_Mastro and shoot me a DM. Let me know what you'd like to see more of, and I will see you guys soon. Thanks for tuning in.